It's almost Halloween, so it is time for me to tell you what are the top 7 scariest video games ever made. Games that will make your hair stand on end, games that would chill you to the bone, games that will frighten you so that you may never sleep again. Games of terror, games of horror, games of dread and endless anguish. I hope you're ready because this is not a show for the light-hearted. That being said, let's get it started with number 7, Clock Tower. Don't let its SNES era graphics fool you. Clock Tower is a frightfully scary game. You play as Jennifer, an orphan that's about to be adopted along with the other girls from the orphanage by a mysterious benefactor in a scary old mansion, when suddenly people start disappearing, odd noises start popping up, and a killer armed with giant scissors starts roaming the halls. He may not seem terrifying because he's quite small and has a pair of giant scissors, but this enemy knows this house. You are on home turf. There is no escaping him. You may only hide from him for a while, and only in some places, because this is his home. He knows it well. He will come for you. If you try to escape, he will come for you. This game doesn't have some stupid reason for why the character can't leave the house. You can. It's one of the easiest endings to get, but you'll still die because he finds you, and he's not the only thing that can kill you in this house. Insects, a deranged parrot, a starving, jailed madman, and so many other things. This game is terror encapsulated in an elegant, beautiful accomplishment of game design, and it's one that I encourage you to try if you dare, if you have the courage, especially if you're playing it at night, in an empty room, with your back to the door, on the lookout for that telltale sound, those scissors, getting closer and closer. Number 6, Dwarf Fortress. From the moment you start the game, it fills you with dread. You must ask yourself, what the hell is this? How do I play it? Why are there so many types of doors? Was this designed by insane people? Is this a ritual meant to summon Cthulhu from the great beyond? Will I go mad trying to understand this game? And the answer is yes, you probably will. You will go insane. For this game is without a doubt frightening in its complexity and scope. Fiendish even, eldritch, or oblong one might say. A game not for the faint of heart. Number 5, Job Simulator. Every person that works a job they hate understands why this game is horrible. Imagine if you're not one of those people that has a day job they hate like I do, then you have a job that you utterly despise, and then when you come home to play a video game and unwind and enjoy the power of VR, what do you have? You have Job Simulator, a game that puts you in your own job, in your own soul-crushing, mind-devouring, well-pulverizing job. A game that puts you right back where you were 1 hour ago. A game that never lets you forget that you'll go back there again and again and again until one day when it will either defeat you or you will defeat it. And you know that you cannot possibly do that. You've tried. It's already broken you. You have become its puppet, and it will never let you go. Number 4, Recettear, an item shop's tale. Not only is this game, dare I even call it a game and not a torture simulator, meant to give you the experience of someone working in retail, otherwise known as the place hell wish it were as bad as, but it does so with an art style, a type of artistic vision of nightmare which H.R. Geiger could not even conceive of. One that would have made Zdzislaw Beksiński's nightmares seem like pleasant dreams. And it's all in the eyes. Those soulless, unfeeling, uncaring, cold, dead eyes. Eyes like the void of a black hole, churning away at the depths of your soul, gripping you and never letting go, dragging you deeper into endless, unimaginable suffering. I know not what depth of hell this game spawned from. I asked the developers once, and they couldn't answer either, but hopefully there won't be any more that spawn from it soon, for the world will not be able to handle more than one of these every century. They say the last one caused the First World War. Number 3, Duke Nukem Forever. When this game was released, people called it the comeback of 90s shooters. They called it old school. Even today, people say, well, this game didn't sell well because no one likes 90s shooters anymore. Who cares about the 90s FPS these days? days. And that's the horror of it. That's what makes it so scary. That's what makes it frightening enough to be in the number 3 spot. It's not a 90s shooter, it's not old school. This is closer to a poor Call of Duty game than it is to Duke Nukem 3D, and yet, for reasons that are probably Eldritch in origins or Oblong, I always get those two confused, people still see it as being old school and being good. The developers see this game as being good. That should frighten you so much that you'll spend nights lying awake wondering what's next. And I'll tell you what's next. Number 2, Dear Esther. You're probably saying to yourself, oh, it gets scary when you see those ghosts, those spirits, those shadows always on the edge of your vision, following you, lurking in the distance. Waiting. No, they don't do anything. The scary thing is that people still call this a video game. Even the developers, when confronted with the fact that no, it has none of the qualities that would make it a game, video, or otherwise in any way, shape, or form, will brush it off with something like, oh, it doesn't even matter if it's a game or not. Does it even matter what we call our game? That sends chills down your spine. That makes you shudder in the dark, weeping in terror. It's not just the public, the general audience that may not be all that bright and doesn't understand what qualifies something to be a game. You actually doing something in it. But the developers also seem to have that lack of knowledge, like it was either taken away from them or they were replaced with pod people that just don't understand words and what they mean. Which leads us to the scariest video game ever made. Number 1 is Windows 10. Now you may be saying to yourself, but Windows 10 isn't a game. We've already covered that with number 2, haven't we? When you think about it, Windows 10 is a game, one that you lose constantly, bit by bit, every single day. And it is frightening, it is scary, it is without a doubt the most heart-wrenching experience you will ever experience. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna pop up and ruin hours and hours of work at that job you hate. You never know what jump scare the updates will bring. But you know they're coming. You know they'll be there soon. You can't disable them because you don't have the pro version, the extra costly one that lets you at least pretend you have a choice. No, you just sit there waiting. You know it's gonna shoot you with an update, but it's not telling you when. You're just exhausted. You're unable to sleep anymore. You're unable to work. You're unable to do anything. So just come on, do it. Hit me with that update and then it comes and it's dreadful. Your start menu looks like crap now. For some reason, clicking a pinned shortcut in Explorer causes Windows Explorer to stop working 5 times a day. There's a pixel on the screen. No, not a dead pixel, no. It's a zombie pixel, it's an undead pixel. It's a pixel that will stop your mouse from moving to one monitor from another one. It's there so you can't move windows in a single movement, with a single stroke, like you could, like any normal person could on every other operating system ever made. It's got, and especially in the Anniversary Edition, it's got 2 different systems for removing applications and setting default ones and setting settings. And odds are you have probably about 3 different documents folders for the same user because, hey, you as a normal person move documents to a bigger hard drive at the first possible opportunity, but the update made 2 more of them and they don't know which one is which anymore, and they mesh together in sort of a non-Euclidean Cthulhu-esque deviation from common sense reality. You're living in madness, in terror and sheer fright. There is no escape from this. There is no cure, no reason to it. It's just terror and suffering until you install Linux or Windows 7 again because, hey, turns out they're probably not gonna push forward with DirectX 12 all that much or Vulkan because NVIDIA hardware is crap on it and no one wants to upset NVIDIA. Well, that was it for the scariest video games you're gonna ever play. If you disagree with me, use Windows 10 to work and then talk to me. Then you have have the right to talk to me. Use it for hours and hours and hours. Use it to do actually something productive and not just watch videos on the internet. See you next year with an updated version of this top 7, probably with even scarier things. Ooh, I'm a ghost. No, I really am a ghost. You're hearing this in your head. Well, technically, you hear everything in your head. That's how hearing works.
Thank you for watching this show. If you enjoyed it, please consider watching some of our other videos and maybe sharing them or giving a thumbs up if you feel like it. And if you really liked what you saw, please check out our Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you could help us make much better shows and get some rewards in the process. Or you could consider buying my book called Tale of Doom. Volume 1 is out now and available for just $2. And as always, if you thought it was horrible, you know where to find me and complain about it.